just under, smidge under halfway between Kundruk, which is basically Swan Hill, and Eden on the New South Wales south coast. It's a 9-hour drive. I left it just before 9 o'clock, and it's now just before 1 o'clock. And I'm driving now, instead, for the last month and a half, I've been driving through desert, like flat, dry, arid sort of country. But now all of a sudden, the first little bit of today was the same thing, but now all of a sudden I'm driving through these beautiful mountains, and I haven't done that for a long time, which is really refreshing. And it's a little bit cooler. It's 30 degrees, but yeah, it's a little bit cooler than it was on the plains. And yeah. Stop to stretch my legs at the Jim Newman lookout. Giant moth or butterfly or something. This is the riverland, the river floodplains of the Murray, which you can see over there. It's gorgeous. There is so much water. You would not know it's the middle of summer. Oh, there we go. It's a giant bogong moth. Of course it is. Yeah, it's just beautiful here. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. I think that might be the Snowy. Really not 100% sure. It's a big river. That was a bit of a scary descent. And on further checking of the maps, it doesn't look like I'm going to go through Canberra. This road that I'm still on is Goat Ridge Road. I'll have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure I'm going through the Snowy Mountains here. And this is the most beautiful road I've ever been on. Just every coast, it's quite dramatically hilly. Poor old Irma, she's doing a magnificent job, but she's being tested, But my God, every corner is just a breathtaking view. Everywhere you look, it's just magic. My ears have popped several times from going up and down the sides of these mountains, and the drops off the side are very similar to the McKillop's Bridge Road, except they do have barriers and the road's a little bit wider and it's paved, but the drop itself is it's pretty intimidating. Oh my God, the beauty. If I had a few more days up my sleeve, there is a few campsites, like I just passed O'Hara's campsite. There will be some magnificent camping in this area. See that valley down there? I don't know whether you can see it, but I'm going to keep my eyes on the road, obviously. He's huge. The size of these mountains. Oh. Alright, I'll shut up now. Just enjoy it. So we made it up the Great Dividing Range, and we're now up the top, driving along, it looks like in the moors of Scotland or something. Totally different landscape. And this is the ski fields, apparently. Yeah, just the beauty of the change is also really cool. It's totally bare now. Just came up through forests and gorgeous gullies and rivers and valleys, and now we're up the top. And it's raining. It's 19 degrees. On the other side, it was 36 degrees. And I'm sure when I get down to the bottom of the mountain and back towards the coast, it's going to be 30 again. But right now, it's cold and raining. Irma's probably loving it because she's having a bath. She badly needs. But I do need petrol in about 60 k's, and I don't know when the next town is. So that could be worrying. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Somewhere in there, there's a lyrebird. So here's a travel story, classic. I caught up with Ashton yesterday and Elise, his girlfriend, and their family, and the dad was telling me about a hitchhiker that he picked up, who was quite a colourful character, just pants and nothing else, and talked quite rapidly and just wouldn't stop talking. Quite a feral, in his words. And I'd seen these two guys at the campsite where I'd stopped before, and I wondered whether they were the same guys, and I described, and he said, yeah, that was them. Good luck. You're going to have an interesting night. And they were fine. They kept to themselves. They were okay. And then I'm just driving, decided I'd go into Merimbula, have a little surf, and there walking along the road was one of the guys from the campsite hitchhiking, wanting to go into Eden. And I realised that my car with the roof racks on top and all that is just unmissable. So if I drove past him, he'd know that I didn't stop to give him a lift. And knowing that he was a fairly fruity character, I thought unfortunately, look, it's just best if I give him a lift to wherever he's going. And so he gets in the car, and excuse the fruity language, but he just started going on. Oh man, yeah man, oh thanks for giving me a lift. None of these bastards are giving me a lift. The fuckers just keep going past me. I can't drive my brother's car because I'm on parole, and the parole officer said I'm not allowed to drive. Bastard. And he just kept going on and on. Oh God, it was scary. And then I dropped him off. He didn't do anything, but yeah, it dropped him off at Eden. He's like, well, when are you coming back? I need a lift back. It's a 4-hour walk to the campsite, mate. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to be surfing. I'll be there for a while. I don't know. If I see you coming back, I'll give you a lift back in. Yeah. One of the classic moments of camping and travelling. Hopefully I don't see him on the way back, but I will have to give him a lift, and then he's probably, I don't know, him and his brother will probably want to talk at the campsite. I don't know if I can stay there anymore, but I really want to stay there because it's a beautiful campsite. Yeah, fun and games. So I've just come back from the beach, from the ocean, where I had my new fin. I put it in my board. I got my little short wetsuit and walked out into the water. The guy came charging out and said, "Don't go in, mate, don't go in. It's been swimming up and down here for the last 20 minutes. It's a bloody big shark." And I was speaking to somebody else, and they said, "Yeah, oh yeah, there's a great white that's been swimming up and down here for the last couple of days." So I didn't go in. I didn't have my surf, which I was a little bit sad about, but I wasn't going to, wasn't game. I was chicken. Now I'm going up to the point, so I'll see if I can see this thing. I would love to see a great white from the shore. But it's a bit of a bugger because I really, really wanted to have a surf. I'll come back tomorrow. See the sun. And this is my campsite at Scrubby Creek Rest Area. There's a few other people around. The crazies are off over there. Haven't had to speak to them since I got back. It's a beautiful site, and we can have fires. We're allowed to have fires here. No fires in South Australia, but here you're allowed to. Happy days. So I'm going to go and get some wood and have a fire tonight. Okay, well the swell is pretty much flat. There are tiny little waves, so I'm going to have a go surfing here at Merimbula. That's the spot where the shark was yesterday. So if we get eaten, this is my last post. Hopefully it won't be. Yep. Well, I just had my first surf and my probably last surf at Merimbula. I didn't get eaten, as you can see, but I did see the shark swim right past me. Yeah, dorsal fin and tail fin just cruising past, probably, I don't know, maybe 10 meters away from me. It was kind of scary, so I got out of the water. There was a couple of other people around, and we all saw it, and we're all like, I think we'd better get out of the water. It was probably about the size of my board, maybe, yeah, about 2 meters or so. Maybe a little bit bigger. So my board's 7'4", so yeah. Don't know what type of shark it was. I'd like to think it was a great white, but I don't think so, because they would be a lot bigger. Yeah, so Merimbula, 2 days in a row, I caught one wave. Like, I saw a shark, and I'm like, I'm not going in without catching a wave, because it was like, it wasn't that deep, so I wasn't too panicked. But I was determined to catch a wave, so I caught one wave at Merimbula. And now I'm going to do my washing, because there's no sharks in the laundromat. And also, I forgot to mention, because the shark was the coolest thing, but second coolest, there was the biggest stingray I've ever seen in my life. Oh, not a stingray, it was a ray. It was massive. It was the size of a huge dining table, like wider than the car. It was just incredible, most graceful creature, just cruising backwards and forwards, like up and down the inlet. Yeah, very impressive.